Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Round the Ground. I'm at St Mary's, home of Southampton Football Club, as I begin a new series. In just under a year's time, all being well, I hope to retire. It's always been a dream of mine, ambition to do the 92, and I've ticked off various on my channel, the likes of Millwall, Brentford, Northampton, Orient, Arsenal, to name but a few. But I'd like to do the whole 92 as a challenge, if you like, and it's going to take many years, and will I actually achieve it? Who knows? But I'm going to be marking each ground out of 10 categories so that I can give a definitive answer of the best place to go. I'll go to men's matches, women's matches, maybe youth matches. Starting today, the women's match against Bristol City. The categories will be public transport, getting to the ground, mainly trains, might take buses and possibly trams into account. I'm going to order a pie at every ground and then rate it, and what I will do is ask for, if they ask what sort of pie, I'll say, well, just choose for me, and then I'll get whatever I'm given. If they don't have any pies, they don't get any points. The home goals that scored, the excitement of the game as a whole, the uniqueness / impressiveness of the ground. I'm going to mark the home kit, the overall enjoyment of the day, taking weather, transport, game, pitch, everything into account. Weather, if I haven't said that, atmosphere, which I know will be different between women's matches, youth matches and men's matches, particularly if they're big games, but I will take it all into account with my score. I'm going to mark the first home corner out of 10, and also all the set pieces, so throw-ins, corners, free kicks, penalties, out of 10, and see what score we get. So probably only 4 that I will do this season. It might creep to 1 or 2 more if I get some reachable midweek games. We shall see. This is game 1, Southampton. Enjoy the video. First concession stall I went to actually didn't seem to know what a pie was, so I'm going to deduct a mark from that. The second concession stall I went to, she said we got a gluten-free steak pie. I said that's fine. So the chef took it, and it was a chef in Chef White's, took it from the oven. It's piping hot. The pastry is to die for. It's really tasty. The pastry is really crispy. Slight bit of gristle in there, but overall a really good pie. 8 out of 10. A quick scan round of Southampton Football Club, St Mary's. Just one area going to be open for this ladies match. Bathed in sunshine this afternoon. It's lovely. Water sprinklers on, as you can see. You won't probably be able to see, but ahead of me there is the press area where it says "We March On." Near the top, very red and white all the way around. There's no real change in levels. It's the same all the way around. And the hashtag Saints SFC, which is nice. And then we come round here. Pitch looks amazing. It looks very neat. Even the football's laid out in a neat little row there. I love little touches like that. Same here. Look, all the way along that line there. It all looks kind of samey from the outside, but then once you start walking around, I loved the statue which there's a picture of, and the main entrance. I went in the merchandise store, which was great, and there's a good number of people in there. Little places of interest all the way around, a real buzz. So although from the outside looking at it, it kind of from a distance all looks a bit the same, when you get close up to it there's points of interest everywhere. It's a really lovely ground to start off my 92 attempt with. Inside, plenty of concessions, places to get drinks. I've been into the toilets and they were really clean actually for football ground. Very impressed with that. It's reachable by public transport, so although it's not utterly unique as a ground, if you like, it's very one level, as I said. It's all red and white for Southampton, but I really like it from the outside. I like it on the inside. Very much looking forward to seeing how the pitch plays and experiencing a game here. So for the ground, I think I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Well above average, possibly beatable, but actually very impressed for my first visit here. So as regards public transport, you go to Southampton Central, it's a mile walk, it's about 20 minutes, pretty much a straight line. If you come out the station and just keep walking, and eventually you get there. You do go through some subways, and one area is not particularly salubrious, so I knock it down a mark from that, and I'm sure there will be grounds that are nearer public transport, but so long as your mobility is alright, it's very reachable and walkable from the station. There may well be buses, I didn't look into that, but as I say, it's definitely walkable. I really like the area as you turn off, just as you get to the bridge, which it's almost like walking through a tunnel with pictures on both sides of that tunnel of ex-Southampton players and managers and moments in the history and that kind of thing. That was really nice touch. So I think it's beatable for public transport, but it's certainly not bad. 7 out of 10. First corner of the match. Reasonable ping into the box, comfortably cleared. 5.5 out of 10. Home kit is classic Southampton, red and white at the front. It's just white at the back with red numbers. I'd rather see black numbers myself. I'd also quite like the red and white to go all over the shirt, like the black shorts. 6 out of 10. Home set pieces have been predictable, have never led to anything, haven't been the greatest. I'm giving it, they've been pinged in well but easily defended. I'm giving them 5 out of 10. Full time, the final score: Southampton ladies 0, Bristol City ladies 1. Southampton were really disappointing, very negative, didn't seem to have any urgency about them. Had a few scraps and chances, but Bristol City played better football, and when they scored 10 minutes from time, it was no more, in my opinion, than they deserved. For atmosphere, I'm giving it 4 out of 10. The home supporters tried, they chanted that from time to time. There was lots of shouting out, but they didn't have a lot to feed off, to be honest with you. Game excitement, again, I'm giving 4. I went with my mate, and at the end he said that game was a lot of things, but exciting wasn't one of them. 7 minutes stoppage time at the end of the first half, 10 at the end of the second half because of injuries which fractured the game somewhat. 0 points for home goals because they didn't score. Overall enjoyment for the day. The weather was good, the journey was long, but it was okay. I liked the ground, the pitch played well. It was the game, if anything, that let it down, and I'm giving the overall enjoyment 6 out of 10. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Enjoy the stills at the end, and hopefully the next one should be maybe a month or 2 ahead. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.